Alright, and we're back. I do hope that fixed the choppiness. It's kind of weird, because I wonder just how Justin TV works. Because I knew I changed some settings on there, because I switched some things around on my internet. So I was testing it out by myself, just to like make sure that everything was working correctly. But maybe it just starts to deteriorate the quality of it when lots of people are watching instead of one. Which just means I don't know exactly understand how it works. Okay. One person says it's better, so awesome. Anyway, that's a lot of mutalisks to be hiding out here. I think a lot of mutalisks. Because is really going to go for some Jadon double mutalist micro. Alright, let's see it, man. Let's see it. Marines are skimming forward, the turrets have all gone down, and the mutalist is just moving in. And they're able to kill off a lot of the Marines, but here come the Goliath now to take the mutalists away. Alright, a little bit of pause there. Well, actually, those mutalisks did do a lot of damage. They weren't purposely targeting the SCVs, but the bounce damage killed off a lot of them. So, nice move from Q-Tech. He didn't exactly lose a lot of mutalisks in that engagement either. But this is a very scary army to have to deal with. There are so many tanks. And I have a feeling that, the first Science Festival is now out. Assuming that he can survive against this mutalist suggestion, I think that the Science Festival is just what he was waiting for to be able to start the next push. But the Science Festival definitely does need to stay away from the mutalist, so he can't afford to let it tonight. The mutalist is going to clear up the natural once again. The big army comes back, and the mutalists are forced to pull away, but not before taking out one last SCV. That Overlord's probably moved the other way. No, Mr. Overlord. Don't suicide yourself. It's coming down here because that's the way his mutalist from Right Road, and it's clicked somewhere in the base, and now the Overlord slowly jumping over, but he forgot to turn the other way. So sad. Alright. He now does have a vessel and a large number of siege tanks. What about the fire? Oh, not enough time to touch the Defiler attack, because here comes an attack from Q-Tech, getting a pretty nice angle with some units up top, and his lurkers are doing a massive amount of damage to the Marines. Almost all of the Marines have died now, but it doesn't look like it's going to be enough, just because these siege tanks do so much damage in the back. More issues between the two. There's still a lurker here that just like blends in so well. There we go. So, there isn't a lot of Marines here, and not a lot of Goliaths, so those mutalisks might actually be able to do a lot of damage here. He still does have a very high number of them. I think that Funny's getting a little bit too aggressive here. These are a lot of expensive units to be using like this, and yes, here comes Reserve now. This is what I was afraid of just being attacked and killed off. If he didn't engage this, he would have had an extra 5 tanks to play with. That would have made whatever next attack he does a lot stronger. No. That's actually very unfortunate for Funny. Funny now, he already sustained a lot of economic damage. He was only on 2 bases to begin with. And he lost his entire army. I think that might be it. I don't know how he's going to deal with this next attack. It's a lot of stuff, and with no tanks, you can't really deal with the lurkers. The Marines overhead as well, very nice Arabia going down. It's going to kill off some of the mutalisks, at least, but it's just not going to be enough. There are no real units to do damage to what the Zerg's sending at him. You can see them in a drone get so overeager with just rallying units in. And I think that the constant stream he can produce off of his 5 bases? Yeah, 5 bases. I don't see how Funny's going to be able to stop this. Funny now forced to lift Mancino down to only 1 base that is already mostly mined out. Funny, there's nothing Funny can do anymore. He still might have not been able to win The first engagement from True Touch was very nice. He lost it, but he killed off so much that it was worth it. The second engagement, he won easily. And I'm contemplating whether Funny still could have won this engagement if he had pulled back. I think that Funny would have been able to at least survive. Not in the best of positions, but survive if he had pulled back his arm instead of attacking with it. Comset's going to burn down, but it doesn't really matter. He has one here, and he has a vessel anyway. Oh, I heard Defilers and Ultralisk. Oh boy, Defilers and Ultralisk. No GG. Funny has left the game. Alright, so this is Winners League, so True Touch will stay on. Let's see who his next opponent will be. On Gladiator, apparently. We have IWL. That needs to be a dash. And sleep with white six. Oh, they're both white. Oh, really? If I exit out and come back, does it change the colors? I think it's worth trying. I don't want to do a cast of white versus white. It's way too confusing, especially in the GVG. I guess it'd be worse if it was a PvP. But I hope this changes the color. Shit, it doesn't. Alright then. Okay. So, True Touch is the white one, and Sleep is the not quite as white one. Why did Blizzard make these two colors? Why was this color necessary? You have white, that's fine, man. Why did you need this one? Okay. I'm gonna put Sleep as yellow. Just try to think of this as like a really, really pale yellow. I can't shift tab because... Wait, what? How the hell does that work? I'm not allied with either one. I don't know how that works. Okay, this is going to be at least better. So, on the mini... Oh, that's why it's going to be terrible, because when I click on them, they're going to change. Alright, so I can't shift tab. I didn't think shift tab would work, but it just didn't work for a different reason than what I was expecting. Alright, looks like Sleep's in a 12 pack, and True Touch went for a 12 pull. That'd be kind of entertaining to cast a game where they just we're constantly changing colors. Oh, I still haven't changed colors because I keep just tabbing too many times. Alright. Oh, Brood War. Brood War and your janky replay mechanics that was bootleg from something that was never meant to have replays. True Touch probably won't be able to do damages to Zerglings. Sleep. Sleep's long until it's a little bit more time to go. He did scout his opponent first, so he'll be headed in that direction. Getting a little bit stuck there. Actually, those Zerglings, for some reason, it seems like those Zerglings are later than they should be. Maybe not. Anyway, the Zerglings are gonna get to the hatchery, but they certainly won't be able to take it down before 3 Zerglings get out. So once he pulls a couple drones, it'll be fine. Interesting decision, targeting the edge. Was you trying to, kill the Zerglings, as soon as they spawn? Was that the goal of that? Because they certainly weren't going to be able to kill the edge. Even without, drones shooting at them, they just can't kill the edge before the Zerglings hatch anyway. So I think he's, trying to cause a disappearing Zergling trick. Which isn't really a trick. Yeah. You know what I'm trying to say. That was weird. Anyway. Sleep now with a pretty good number of Zerglings. He's not even bringing all of them, keeping 2 of them at home. But he's still going to be able to win this fight with proper micro here. There are a couple of drones for 2 touches that are going to help. Well, 2 touch reinforces with 6 extra range, and now it looks like he has a little bit of an advantage. And so he's going to run away from a different direction, and he's going to have a nice backstab opportunity. Spire being thrown down, it's not a sunken. And it looks like Sleep is waiting just a little bit extra long, trying to get 2 touch's wings as far away as possible, and now 2 touch realizes it at the worst possible moment, when the wings are as far away as they could possibly be, without doing any damage. And now there's Zerglings in the base. What are they going to kill? They cause a cancel the Spire, that is huge, and there's still a good number to get drone kills, 1 drone already down. Sleep is looking to be in a fantastic position after that. Looks like it is going to be cleaned up though, but it's fine. Canceling the Spire alone, more than enough to make it so that he's in the lead. How much faster is his Spire now? 360 compared to 190. Ooh, those Mutalisks are going to be out much faster. Although it might not be quite enough for the Mutalisk to get in the to force force. I think the Spire was restarted just in time so that the difference in fire timing is about the same as the travel time. Alright. So, both players with similar number of Zerglings. Sleep has a little bit more supply, but it's unclear whether it's an extra aggressive Zergling. Here comes the engagement. 3 touch with a little bit of a better angle, and Sleep pulling back, but now if 3 touch was to move forward, Sleep would have the better angle. Is 3 touch going to go in now? He might feel pressured to because he's behind by a little bit, but I don't think that would be a good idea at all, no. He baited, very nice move, baiting Sleep out and getting the best arc he possibly could. But it still doesn't matter, he didn't have as many rings as Sleep did. Oh, that was a very cool move from 2 touch, and he's going to do the exact same thing that Sleep did to him, retreat his Zerglings, but retreat them in a little bit of a different path, and sneak in. How much damage is he going to be able to do? Wow, there's so few drones here. Did he transfer a bunch? I don't know why he thinks has so few drones. But, it looks like the drones are going to try to engage. It's not going to work out for him. And 2 touch is still going to have a good number. But Sleep, in the meantime, he did not turn around with his wings. He just came back. First Mutalisk is out. And where is 2 touch routine? If you compare a Surge coming out, 1 Mutalisk can't really micro against 2 Surge. And Mutalisk is going to go down. Both players taking significant drone losses. Tried to take out the Spire, got it down halfway. Not quite finishing it off. 2 touch did throw down a Sunken Colony. 2 more Surge out. It's going to take out the Mutalisk again. Not quite. Didn't miss it. Oh, but the Zerglings took out the hatchery. Wow, I really missed that. Okay. I thought they just ran in, but no, they stopped to kill the hatchery and then proceeded to move in. So So Sleep is actually looking really strong at this point. Two more Zerglings come in to target the Spire, sat over into the Sunken Colony, and no Zerglings being produced, just the one Mutalisk. So, get more Lings sneaking in, because there's just nothing to stop Lings from sneaking in, apparently. Sleep still has some Zerglings hanging out around the outside. The Mutalisk ran all the way to the corner of the map. I could not avoid the surge. And more damage to the drone line. The Suicide did take his hatchery, but, excuse me, does have the extra hatchery up, but he has so few drones at this point. The extra hatchery doesn't mean a lot. He doesn't have the economy to produce off of 2 hatcheries anyway. It looks like 6 drones. How many drones does Suicide have? Only 4 drones. So, or 5 drones. No? How many drones? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 drones. So both players, very small, and oh no! Sleep just continuously getting his Mutalisk discouraged. He hasn't saved every scourge that Suicide has used, has killed so far. Here comes the next wave of Lings in for Sleep. Going to be able to snipe the Spire. That takes away all of Suicide's possible aggressive opportunities, and more importantly, it takes away his possibilities for anti-air. He has nothing to defend against Mutalisk anymore. He doesn't have enough time to set up a Spire. I think that's actually GG by sniping it. They're still going to go for the Sunken Colony to try to win it with Zerglings anyway. And they do take out the Sunken barely, but the Mutalisk should be enough to defend. There are 2 Mutalisks out for Suicide, and that's all he has. He cannot afford to produce anything else. Meanwhile... Oh, these are also 2 tested, so he does have 2 extra Stirs to try to hit some Mutalisks when they come out. But Sleep has switched to just Zergling production, so as he dodges his one final Mutalisk, it won't be able to kill off the Zerglings fast enough to save the base. Suicide leads the game GG, and Sleep is going to tie it up. Alright. So, set number 3. I'm not sure who GT has. I'm not sure who showed up, and I'm not sure who's... I don't have the list of players that were actually in the Invitational. Although the ones that got eliminated early might have been able to come back to this. The Invitational did start an hour earlier. I don't even sure if those were being played live or not. Anyway, we have IWL Sleep versus GT Snickle. I could never remember how to spell Snickle. Oh. This is like that. That was really cool. Alright. So, 2 very different colors this game. Alright. And a PPG on Aztec. Okay. So, Snickle's really good. That's really good. I like Snickle a lot. But, oh. No, I don't know anything to say about this map, this PvP. It's like, it's almost like the standard PvP map now. When I think of a PvP being played, I just think of it on Aztec. Because of how few turns get sent out on Aztec. But, it's a good matchup for this map. Although I don't typically like PvPs on 3-player maps, because 3-player maps are very good for Zerg to go for the 4-base turtle style on. Because it's really hard to break for Protoss, and you don't have the optional 3-player maps that go, well, I'm going to expand everywhere else. Because it's a 3-player map, so there isn't another main to expand there if your opponent already took one. Anyway. Snickle, with a very late forge, he had 400 minerals before throwing that mound. And he he isn't scouting his opponent right now. He sent out the scout and came back, and he's not going to get out again. I think he was trying to be really fancy, but he out-fancied himself and just ended up with a really late force. And actually, the first Zerglings are popping. And oh no, is he actually not going to be able to get standing down in time? Is he not going to be able to get standing down in time? That cannon's not going to be in time for sure. This cannon is going to be pretty close, but at the same time, it's not protected. Oh, okay, you can throw down the gateway here, and then it is protected. Although it's in a pretty bad position to prevent a run-by. Let's see what Sleep does. Cannon finishes just in time. And the Zerglings, they went for a run-by, but they go the wrong way. If he had went around the outside, he could have completely avoided the cannon. Oh, Sleep. Snickle avoids disaster. And he even canceled the cannon. Very cute stuff. He was afraid that his opponent was just going to throw down a lot of Zerglings and try to bust him, but seeing that only 6 were made, canceled it. And so he's going for a very fast third. I am not tapping my mic at all. In fact, the mic on a stand. It might be a clicking of the mouse. That would be the clicking. So, I'm not sure what that is. But I am certainly not touching the mic. Alright, Sleep's Lair is about halfway done. Then throw down the Spire after that. Snickles, Cyber Core, there it is. Build the Cyber Core in the natural. Sometimes you don't want to do those Protoss just because it tends to block up and make it even harder for your Dragoons to get out. But actually, the way he's constructed it, it looks like the Dragoons can get out fairly easily. He built his ball really far forward. And it's not so good for the defense necessarily. It looks like it's very close to Hydralisk, and it's going to be hard to get a wall of cannons. But in terms of allowing your units to get out and stopping Zergling run-bys with these zealots in this place is going to be very good for that. Alright. Sleep with about 8 seedlings. Oh, no, more than 8 seedlings. Going for a run-by, and the Zealot, he only had one Zealot on the side. It's not going to stop it. Only one cannon as well. The Dragoon's in a horrible position. It's going to be pretty easy to pick off, although most of the Dragoons don't go for it. He's going to live for a little bit longer. But a lot of the probes are going down, and no more cannons. Is the Zealot going to go down as well? No. The Zealot does survive. Cannon's going down. But yet more probes dying. There's 2 Zealots out, one of them about half health. And the Zerglings, are they going to be able to get in? Nope, not. Get that probe. And he's going to get the scout off. You're not going to find anything too remarkable. But he's going to be exposed to so many more run-bys. These cannons are in a horrible position now. That was the only place you can throw it down at the moment. Zergling's going to stop them and get more. And not going to get that one up either. Oh man, these cannons are so vulnerable right now. And yet again, throwing them down in a really vulnerable position is going to be easy for Zerglings to get in here once again. They're going to focus on the pylon to prevent power to it. To the target, no more Corsairs are going to be produced. But probes surround, while the Zerglings are focusing on it, means that the Zerglings are going to fall really quickly. But more seedlings are going to bust out the front. Sleep is committing a lot to this attack, but it might be too much for Snickle to handle. The first cannon is warped in now, but the Zerglings can still focus it down pretty easily. There's not a lot of defense. But no, the cannon does live just long enough, and the second cannon comes online. Is Sleep going to continue with the aggression? He's switching to Mutalisks, and he stopped Corsair production for however long that was. Snickle still isn't producing Corsairs yet. Now he just started his second one. So these Mutalisks might be able to do a lot of damage, and that Corsair has to run away from the Scourge at the moment. His natural is not cannoned up at all. There's no anti-air to defend against Mutalisks from just essentially hold positioning here. Certainly not close to Templar. He could make a Goon, and he has made a single Goon, but a single Goon is very bad against Mutalisks. So it looks like the Mutalisks aren't going to be going for harass. They're just going to help the Zerglings continue to try to bust. Corsair comes out, but once Corsair can't deal with Mutalisks is that number, and so many probes are being pulled, but the probes are doing absolutely nothing. They're just getting ravaged by the splash from the Mutalisks. They're trying to guard that cannon from going up, but they couldn't do it, and GG from Schmitzel. Seedlings are good. Seedlings are so good. And I have the next 4 replays. Wait. So you say IFU versus Sash. We are not watching IFU versus Sash, we're watching IWL versus GT. Waiting for official word. He's writing. Yay! Alright. So, GT ran out of players because their manager told them that they didn't have to play Clan War today. So the situation I was describing at the beginning meant that they only had Schmitzel and South Park. And Schmitzel and South Park lost. So, congratulations to Sleep, who got a all-kill, in a way, in that he killed all of the GT players. All 2 of them. Alright then. Well, moving into IFU versus Sash. Let me get this all set up.